from Arm & Hammer Park. And there's been about a week to prepare for this day. And with 2 wins earlier this week in Akron, Fisher Cats fans knew that tonight could be the night. And if not, hey, there's always tomorrow. It would take 3 wins in a row from the Akron Rubber Ducks to deny the Fisher Cats a championship. And New Hampshire's only had 1 home losing streak of more than 2 games all year. So they're certainly looking like an opportunity for them to put a bow on what's been a phenomenal season all the way back to April the 5th against the Hartford Yard Goats. Can't believe we're here in what could be the final game of 2018. The Fisher Cats in their red uniforms with white numbering, home white pants, and they've got the blue and red Angry Fisher Cats caps on. For the Rubber Ducks, they've got black jerseys with blue numbering with an orange stroke around it, road gray pants, and black helmets. It is a beautiful night for baseball here at Northeast Delta Dental Stadium. The Fisher Cats happy to have just about perfect weather in Manchester with temperatures currently looking like 72 degrees. Very few clouds overhead, mostly a bright blue sky high over the diamond. So, final warm-up throw made by Jordan Romano. It'll be John Meng, the home plate umpire, behind the dish tonight. Mike Savakinas is at first, Randy Rosenberg at second, and Jacob Metz making the calls over at third. As the first batter of the night, Ernie Clement steps into the batter's box. We're ready for some baseball. Glad you're with us. My name is Tyler Murray on the WGIR Fisher Cats Radio Network with Aaron Boss producing, as always, the executive producer of Fisher Cats Baseball. First pitch comes in at 6:35, right on time, and it misses, bounced off the glove of the catcher, Pat Cantwell. So Clement gets ahead. 1 ball, no strikes. Playoff batting average so far, .240. He'll take this pitch up and away. 2 balls and no strikes. Romano, fastball, slider, and changeup. It's been the addition of that changeup that has helped him dominate for the most part this year. This pitch misses down low, 92 on the radar gun, but Clement getting ahead. 3 balls and no strikes. He's been the leadoff man in every game so far in the Eastern League Championship Series. Went 1 for 4 on Tuesday in Game 1. Same story on Wednesday. 3-0 pitch is on the outside corner, a called strike. Clement had the leadoff double against John Harris in Game 2 and came in to score Akron's only run on a sac fly. 3-1 pitch is fouled back, so Romano battles from 3-0 to 3-2 now. You look at the Rubber Ducks offense. John Harris told us after Game 2 that they're mostly a singles hitting team, as a 3-2 pitch is swung on and popped foul out of play. And there's a lot of talent up and down this lineup, but when you look at home run power and a home run threat every time up, it really has just been Nelly Rodriguez. Regular season home run leader in terms of guys still on the team. Ka'ai Tom with 12 as this pitch is swung on and lined out toward left field. Back goes Palacios. This one is out of his reach and one hops the wall. Stays on the warning track as Palacios' momentum takes him out into foul territory. And that's another leadoff double for Ernie Clement as he puts the brakes on at second base. So just like Game 2, he hits a double to left field. They were able to cash in with a sac fly 2 batters later. But again, that was Akron's only run of the ball game. It's Andrew Kalika next, and not a bad time to bring up a quote made in the Akron Beacon Journal by Tony Mansolino, the manager of the Akron Rubber Ducks. He said a few balls hit at their park, Canal Park, might have left the yard here at Northeast Delta Dental Stadium as Andrew Kalika takes a pitch just off the outside corner. The direct quote is, "Their park is a lot smaller. Some of the balls we hit up in the air have a chance to get out." That one stayed in the ballpark, but well struck down into the corner. So runner on second, nobody out, just underway as Kalika takes low and in. 2 balls and no strikes. He's the center fielder batting left-handed. A .348 playoff average. 2 hits and 3 trips yesterday. Now the 2-0 is lined hard to second base. Diving catch, Cavan Biggio. He just kept it off the infield dirt, and Clement has to race back into second base. That one was laced toward the right side. Biggio played it perfectly, and Kalika lines out, and there's one away. Now Tyler Krieger, the designated hitter. Standing in from the left side, he's a switch hitter and the DH tonight. First pitch, he takes a strike at the letters. The Cleveland Indians AA affiliate, the Akron Rubber Ducks here in town, in Akron, Ohio, the rubber capital of America. Pitch is swung on and missed, so it's 0-2 now. And this isn't necessarily a lineup that is jam-packed with top Indian prospects. They've got some big names. Here's the 0-2. Swung on and missed. 94-mile-an-hour fastball. Jordan Romano with his first strikeout of the night. And it's Nelly Rodriguez standing in his way from stranding that leadoff double. I mean, you want to talk about momentum. The Fisher Cats, to nobody's surprise, with 5 wins and 0 losses in the postseason, have dominated the momentum battle, if that really exists in baseball. But every time they seem to fall behind, even for a moment, they've been able to quickly regain leads as Nelly Rodriguez takes a first pitch strike. Fastball outside corner at 94. The only time they trailed in the series against Trenton in the divisional round was a leadoff home run in Game 2 by Gosuke Kato. Bottom of the first, Max Pentecost hits a 3-run homer. 0-1 pitch, swinging a ground ball toward the middle, but Biggio is there behind the bag, fumbles with it, recovers and throws to first in time. A leadoff double, but he's stranded at second. What a job by Jordan Romano as Rodriguez grounds out to second base. And the Rubber Ducks don't score in the top half. Fisher Cats coming to bat next on the WGIR Fisher Cats Radio Network. Great job by Jordan Romano to shut down Akron after allowing that leadoff double. So the Fisher Cats come to bat in the bottom of the first in a 0-0 ball game. John Birdie, Bo Bichette, and Harold Ramirez. Birdie, the designated hitter, and the Fisher Cats' all-time leader in hits, stolen bases, and triples. He has a few more records mixed in there as well, like most games played. He has been a leader of this team ever since coming back from the Indians organization. And here we go, first pitch of Game 3 from Zach Plesac. He works from the windup and fires home. Birdie swings and fouls one away. 94-mile-an-hour fastball this time, so it's 0-1. So far in the championship series, Birdie has been limited to just 1 hit, but it was a 2-run single that wound up being the game-winning hit in the 3rd inning. The 0-1 is down low. A phenomenal night for baseball here, and what a crowd on hand. Pat yourselves on the back, Manchester. You have come out and supported this phenomenal team. The 1-1 pitch is in at the knees, a called strike 2. Zach Plesac, 12th round pick out of Ball State in 2016. It's his 2nd start of these playoffs. He pitched in Game 3 against Altoona in the divisional round. Now the 1-2 to Birdie, off the outside corner, 2 balls and 2 strikes as they go righty versus righty to start the bottom of the first in a scoreless game. Plesac's start against Altoona was actually the only game Akron didn't win in the opening round. 2-2 pitch is on the outside corner, 95-mile-an-hour fastball. Birdie hates the call, and that one looked 50-50 at best as Birdie is retired to begin the bottom of the first. Impressive velocity nonetheless from Zach Plesac, 95, as it brings up Bo Bichette. If the Fisher Cats win tonight and complete the series sweep, there will be a playoff MVP crowned. And Bichette had himself a wonderful opening round as he takes the first pitch down low, ball 1. He hit .462, 5 runs scored, 2 runs batted in. And so far in the championship series, well, he stole a base in Game 1, single with a run scored in Game 2, still contributing. Now the 1-0 is low again, 2 balls and no strikes. Base is empty, 1 away. Fisher Cats batting in the bottom of the first. Here's the 2-0. Low again, so 3 balls and no strikes for Bo Bichette. During the regular season, had 11 home runs and 74 RBIs. Came in 2nd place in the Rookie of the Year voting behind teammate Cavan Biggio. 3-0 pitch, right down Broadway, takes a 95-mile-an-hour fastball strike. Well, Plesac didn't groove that one in there. Right down the middle, sure, but mid-90s velocity. From the windup, here's the 3-1. Swing and a foul tip into the catcher's mitt, so it's 3-2. Harold Ramirez waiting on deck, and then Cavan Biggio after him if the Fisher Cats get a base runner here in the opening inning. Plesac works from the windup, steps towards first, now comes home. The 3-2 swing and a high chopper over the pitcher's mound. In from second base comes Mark Mathias. Fields throws. They got him at first by a step as Bichette hustled down the line to no avail. So 2 up, 2 down, and now we'll get Harold Ramirez at the plate. A fine playoff performance from Harold Ramirez so far as well. 6 for 11 in the divisional round sweep of Trenton. 1 for 4 on Tuesday in game 1. Actually got ejected in game 2 as he takes a breaking ball off the outside corner. He thought he got hit by a pitch. In fact, it sure looked like he got hit by a pitch in the 7th. It was ruled a ball, not a hit by pitch, as he swings and grounds this one foul. 1 ball, 1 strike. And he eventually struck out swinging. So he turned around and pointed in the face of home plate umpire Jacob Metz, who certainly had a zero tolerance policy in effect. He tossed him. Connor Panis came in for him and was hit by a pitch. Confirmed. 1-1 is swung on and popped up. First base side. This should end the inning if Nelly Rodriguez can get over there. He's on the warning track and makes the catch. We'll go to the second. 0-0 in Game 3 of the Eastern League Championship Series on the WGIR Fisher Cats Radio Network. Will lead off for the Rubber Ducks as we go to the second inning here in Game 3 of the Eastern League Championship Series. The Blue Jays affiliate against the Indians affiliate. Championship Double-A baseball on the WGIR Fisher Cats Radio Network. Ka'ai Tom takes a first pitch strike on the inside corner. It's 0-1. Fisher Cats went down 1-2-3 in the first. As Romano's 0-1, outside, 1 ball, 1 strike. After the leadoff double by Ernie Clement in the home half of the first inning, it was 1-2-3 after that for Jordan Romano. Now the 1-1. Down low, 2 balls and 1 strike. Fisher Cats 2 wins, Rubber Ducks none in the ELCS. Awfully impressive if New Hampshire could complete the perfect playoff run. 2-1, swinging a chopper foul down the first base side. If you're wondering when's the last time anybody did that, about 365 days ago, the Altoona Curve had a first round sweep and a championship round sweep. That team was loaded. Maybe not as loaded as this Fisher Cat squad in terms of prospects, and man, their pitching has been lights out in the postseason. 2-2 is fouled back to the screen, so Ka'ai Tom hanging in there against Jordan Romano. Fisher Cats have a sub-2 ERA in this postseason. Outscored the Thunder 23-5 in the first round. Now the 2-2 from Romano. Breaking ball swung on and driven out toward left center field, but playable for Forrest Wall, it looks like. He'll cut out in front of the warning track and make the catch. And Tom is retired. Around the diamond for New Hampshire, Josh Palacios is in left. Forrest Wall is in center field with Harold Ramirez out in right. Santiago Espinal is the third baseman. Bo Bichette is at shortstop with Cavan Biggio at second base and Gunnar Heidover at first. Pat Cantwell doing the catching for Jordan Romano, and you can't go wrong with Max Pentecost or Pat Cantwell behind the plate and at the dish. First pitch to Jot Carter is taken for a strike. But John Schneider, like many managers, is a man of superstition. He played Pat Cantwell in Game 3 against Trenton last week. 0-1 pitch here is outside, maybe high. And what did Cantwell do in his first playoff game of the year? 2 singles, a steal, and a double. He went 3 for 4 in that clinching 5-1 win. He also caught Romano in that game. Here's the 1-1. Big swing and a miss, chased a high fastball. 1 ball and 2 strikes. As John Carter looks to improve on a .368 playoff batting average. We did not see him in Game 2. He went 1 for 4 in the opener. 1-2 fastball is up high, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Two offering, swing and a miss. That was a soft one way inside, but Carter could not resist. So 2 strikeouts for Romano. He's retired 5 in a row. And it'll bring up Mark Mathias with the bases empty and 2 away. First pitch is a letter-high fastball strike to Mathias at 92. 0 for 3 yesterday and 0 for 4 in game 1. 0-1 pitch is fouled back, 0-2. 0-0 ball game, top of the second inning. Romano has retired 5 in a row. Fisher Cats went down in order in the first, but they'll have Cavan Biggio, Pat Cantwell, and Josh Palacios due up when we get to the bottom of the second. 0-2 pitches up and away. Romano from the windup, now the 1-2. Breaking ball in the dirt, good block from Pat Cantwell. It goes to 2 balls and 2 strikes. If the inning continues, it's the catcher Daniel Salters waiting on deck. And you wonder, Akron, its back's against the wall, just had a 12-hour bus ride from Ohio to New Hampshire. Are they ready to go? I don't know. 2-2, swing and a miss. 95 on the gun. Romano with back-to-back Ks. A 1-2-3 second inning. And the Fisher Cats back to the plate next in a scoreless game on the WGIR Fisher Cats Radio Network. An inning and a half into Game 3 of the Eastern League Championship Series. Just 1 base runner so far. It was the first batter of the day. Ernie Clement at a double to left, but 6 in a row retired by Jordan Romano. And a 1-2-3 first for Zach Plesac. So 0-0, we continue tied into the bottom of the second. Cavan Biggio at the dish. Left-handed slugger with 3 infielders on the right side of second base. He'll take a fastball outside, ball 1. It's almost a misnomer to call him a slugger, even though he hit 26 home runs this year, 1 shy of a Fisher Cats single-season record. The 1-0 is on the outside edge, a called strike, because Biggio really is a complete hitter. 100 walks this season, a .388 on base as he takes down low, 2 balls and 1 strike. And perhaps most importantly, something Fisher Cats fans noticed from the first few weeks of the season, Biggio doesn't just get hits and home runs, he gets them in big spots, and he has come through in a big way so far in the postseason. Here's the 2-1. Biggio fouls it away. Count evens up 2-2. So far in the playoffs, 5 for 17 with 8 runs batted in. Over half of those coming with 2 outs. 2-2 pitch. A little bit low, 3 balls and 2 strikes as Plesac continues bringing the heat. That one was at 95. Biggio leading off the second for the Fisher Cats. Here's the payoff. Swinging a ground ball foul wide of first base. And the count remains full. Aaron Boss in studio right now. Bob Lipman in Colorado getting ready for UNH football in Boulder tomorrow. You can catch that right here on the WGIR network. 3-2 pitch is down low, ball 4. So Biggio, tell me if you've heard this before, draws a walk. A leadoff free pass in the second, and it's the Fisher Cats' first base runner of the day. So now we'll see Pat Cantwell with his first plate appearance of the championship series. He came in to catch in the 10th inning of the first game in this ELCS, because after Max Pentecost drew a leadoff walk and got to third, Andrew Guillat was put into third base to pinch run. First pitch to Cantwell is down low, 1 ball and no strikes. And Plesac, not the first time he's come off the mound after a pitch looking a little bit uncomfortable. Maybe not sure of his footing just yet, but he got the first 3 men in order to begin the ball game before the 7-pitch walk to Biggio. He's on first with nobody out. Now here comes the 1-0. Breaking ball outside, 2 balls and no strikes. Well, we know about Plesac's 95-mile-an-hour heat, but he's got a slider, changeup, and a curveball as well he oftentimes mixes in. Mostly fastball slider, though, against right-handers like Cantwell. The 2-0. Fastball strike at the knees, 94 on the gun. So 2 balls and 1 strike on the Fisher Cats catcher. He had hits in each of his first 3 playoff at-bats in Trenton last week. So he's batting .750 in the postseason. Here's a quick pick off to first, but Biggio able to dive back in. 20 steals for Cavan this year. He was caught just 8 times. Called him a complete hitter earlier in this inning. He's really a complete player. He can run, he can field. We saw that diving catch he made to take one away from Andrew Kalika in the first. Plesac was ready to start the 2-1, but Cantwell called timeout, and he was granted it by John Mang. He doesn't have to grant the time, but that worked out well for Cantwell, and Plesac thrown off his groove, I'm sure. No balk, of course, because time was granted, although that came into major consideration for another playoff team, as Cantwell takes outside, 3 balls and 1 strike. The Eugene Emeralds, a single-A affiliate of the Cubs, won their championship on a game-tying bases-loaded walk and then a walk-off balk. Whatever it takes. 3-1 pitch is grounded hard, but just foul down the third base line between manager John Schneider and the third base bag. Sam Haggerty is the third baseman for Akron. Ernie Clement at shortstop. Mark Mathias at second. Nelly Rodriguez plays first base with Daniel Salters doing the catching. Out in left field, Ka'ai Tom. Andrew Kalika is in center, and Jod Carter plays right field. No score. Bottom of the second. Biggio's on first. They'll throw over that way, but he dives back in. Cantwell at the plate, and for the second straight time in this inning, a full count has been forced by the Fisher Cats. A look over at first again by Plesac, but now he comes set and brings home a 3-2. Fouled off by Cantwell, 95-mile-an-hour heater. Out into the stands, which are just about full. This is fantastic. Every section, I can tell you, has fans in it, especially behind the first base dugout and off to the far side of the first base dugout if you're looking from our perch behind home plate. Long battle here between Cantwell and Plesac. Biggio at first, nobody out. And there he goes for second. 3-2 pitches lined hard, a base hit, fair ball down the third base line and all the way into the corner. The wave Biggio in, and he will get there. Pat Cantwell, an RBI double. He's 4 for 5 in the playoffs, and the Fisher Cats have a 1-0 lead. Biggio scores from first. He was off with the pitch, so the throw never made it to the plate. And New Hampshire, for the first time in this series, scores first. Still nobody out in the inning as Cantwell stands at second. Palacios from the left side takes a swing and hits one way foul, but awfully impressive down the right field line. It landed in the last row of the bleachers, which extend all the way beyond the Fisher Cats bullpen, which is pretty deep in the right field corner. Cantwell, who has good speed for a catcher, with a short lead off of second. The 0-1. Palacios takes one in the dirt, squirts through the catcher Salters and all the way back to the screen. It'll be a wild pitch, and Cantwell gets to third. Again, nobody out yet in the inning. It started with a Biggio walk on 7 pitches. Cantwell on a 3-2 lined it down the left field line to score Biggio from first. And now Palacios, with a man at third, has a chance to add another. Already 1-0 New Hampshire. Infield comes about halfway in for the Rubber Ducks, so they might come home on a sharply hit ball. 1-1. Palacio sprays it foul. A slicer down the left field line. Hits into the lap of a fan right behind the bullpen for Akron. In the count 1-2. And that bullpen was awfully busy in game 2 on Wednesday. They are loaded with relievers. In fact, they only have 2 bench players in terms of position help. They have 9 guys available out of the bullpen. 1-2 to Palacio, swinging a chopper toward first, but it kicks foul, and maybe a break there for the Fisher Cats, as Rodriguez might have had a chance to come home. Instead, the count stays 1-2. Cantwell is at third after his RBI double and a wild pitch. Palacios at the plate. He's got 4 hits in the postseason. 3 of them have driven in runs. The 1-2. Swing and a fly ball out to right field. Well struck, sending Carter back to the wall, and he makes the catch on the run just at the warning track. Plenty deep to score Cantwell from third, and the sacrifice fly makes it 2-0 Fisher Cats. Listen to that crowd. Runner at third, nobody out. Playoff baseball, you feel like you got to cash in on those opportunities, and Palacios gets it done. Here comes Santiago Espinal. First pitch is taken for a strike. So after the leadoff walk to Biggio, Cantwell hit a double, got to third on a wild pitch after the RBI, and then scored on a sac fly. 0-1, Espinal hits one foul back our way. So 0-2. Base is empty, 1 away now. As Zach Plesac has a chance to reset here with nobody on. Righty versus righty from the windup. Here's the 0-2. 95-mile-an-hour heat misses high. 1 ball, 2 strikes. So far in the postseason, Espinal 3 hits and 16 trips, a run, a walk, and an RBI. Long look in from Plesac, and he comes home with a 1-2. Up and away at 96. 2 balls and 2 strikes. The voice of the Rubber Ducks, Dave Wilson, telling us before the game, they haven't seen a whole lot of Plesac this year. 4 starts in Double-A scattered throughout the year, but he has the stuff to be a really good pitcher. The 2-2. Outside, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Espinal was behind 0-2, but now he's worked the count full. Now the payoff pitch. Espinal fouls it back to the screen, and the count stays full. For the first time this series, the Fisher Cats strike first. It was 1-0 Akron after the first inning in both of the 2 games at Canal Park. Now the payoff. Espinal pops it up, but well into foul territory. Souvenirs for the many fans waiting for one, and that one, you know what, no one's getting that. It lands on top of the suite level and out toward the parking lot. Another payoff pitch. Espinal takes outside, ball 4. How about that? Biggio, Cantwell, and Espinal all work full counts. It winds up producing 2 walks and an RBI double. And then Josh Palacios was able to get a sacrifice fly. So 4 productive at-bats, or plate appearances anyway, in this second inning for New Hampshire. And as Gunnar Height comes to the plate, Rigo Beltran, the pitching coach for the Rubber Ducks, heads out to the mound to talk with Zach Plesac. Meanwhile, Jordan Romano has to love what he's seen. And again, he's the guy who got the win in the clinching game in last year's FSL championship down in Florida for the Dunedin Blue Jays. Last week got the clinching win to sweep Trenton in the divisional round. And here today has a 2-0 lead with action already in the Rubber Ducks bullpen. And we told you they have 9 relievers ready to go with yesterday's off day. So why not use them if you got them with their backs against the wall? Meeting adjourned on the mound as Gunnar Height heads to the plate. He had just 1 hit in his first 4 playoff games, but maybe had the biggest hit of game 2. A leadoff single in the third, and then 3 singles in a row after him led to 3 Fisher Cats runs. They turned a 1-0 deficit into a 3-1 lead and never trailed from there. They scored 3 unanswered to win game 1, 3-1. And then 6 unanswered to win game 2, 6-1. First pitch to Gunnar Height is a strike on the outside edge. But the real contribution from Gunnar, if you're going to point to one thing only, it's been the defense. He turned a double play against the Thunder here last week. A diving catch between first and second, and then got the double play, forcing out a runner off of second base. If that ball gets through, it's a completely different game. Runner goes for second. Height swings and rolls one off his foot. Out to third base, a foul ball, and you know they hurt when they go down to the ground and then somehow wind up out toward an infielder. So Gunnar will walk this one off as the count is now 0-2. Celebrated his 26th birthday, so happy birthday week, Gunnar Height. It was on Wednesday in Game 2. And what did he do? He had 2 hits and more sensational defense at first base. So Espinal, short lead from first base, held down by Nelly Rodriguez. Now the 0-2 pitch to Height is swung on and fouled away. A deep fly down the right field line, but out of play, and the count 0-2. It is a right-hander warming up way down that right field line in the Rubber Ducks bullpen as the 0-2 to Gunnar Height is up high. 1 ball and 2 strikes. 2-0 New Hampshire. RBI double Pat Cantwell. Sacrifice fly Josh Palacios. The 1-2 pitch, Espinal takes off. Pitch is swung on and missed. Strike 3. The throw down to second base is in time, so strike him out, throw him out to end the second inning. But the Fisher Cats strike first and take a 2-0 lead into the third in Game 3 of the Eastern League Championship Series on the WGIR Fisher Cats Radio Network. We're on to the third inning as the Fisher Cats have a 2-0 lead on the Akron Rubber Ducks. It'll be Daniel Salters, Sam Haggerty, and Ernie Clement to bat against Jordan Romano. Salters from the left side takes a pitch off the outside corner. The 1-0 swung on and fouled off third base side out toward the Merrimack River, so 1-1 the count. Fisher Cats, Blue Jays AA, Rubber Ducks, Indians AA. The 1-1 to Salters. Poked over the screen behind home plate, foul again, 1-2. Akron hoping desperately for 3 wins here this weekend to get its second championship in 3 seasons. They won back in 2016. Now the 1-2. Up high at 94, 2 balls, 2 strikes. The Fisher Cats, meanwhile, looking for their 3rd title in franchise history. In 2004 and 2011, the other titles for New Hampshire. Here's a 2-2 slider swung on and flied out to center field and just down in front of Forrest Wall for a base hit. He slid hoping to get it, and impressively, as it bounced at his cleats, he's able to glove it on the hop while sliding in from center field. Either way, it's a single for Drew Salters and breaks up a stretch of 6 consecutive men retired by Romano. Sam Haggerty, the batter, bunts one foul to the third base side, 0-1. The Fisher Cats have 2 runs on just the 1 hit, the RBI double from Pat Cantwell. Biggio and Espinal walked with the Palacio sacrifice fly, adding another run. The 0-1. Swinging a blooper foul down the third base side. Could have been trouble, but bounced off the bullpen plate in the corner and skips into the first row. Haggerty, the third baseman and 9-hitter, takes a fastball outside, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Fisher Cats will have Forrest Wall, John Birdie, and Bo Bichette to up. When we get to the bottom of the third, after a strike him out, throw him out double play ended the second. The 1-2 from Romano, inside corner, called strike 3. He's got 4 strikeouts. This is his first called strike 3. He got Krieger, Carter, and Matthias swinging in the first 2 innings, and that's the first out of the third. Ernie Clement takes a strike on the outside corner. He doubled to start the ball game, but didn't move up another base after the next 3 men were retired in order. The 0-1 swings and fouls it off the catcher's gear. Cantwell's good to go. It's 0-2 now. So Salter singled to begin the inning. He's still on first with 1 away. Romano did not allow an earned run in his Game 3 start last week in Trenton. 0-2 breaking ball swung on and driven out toward right center field. Forrest Wall on the move, cuts in and makes the catch down by his hip. Second out recorded. Clement is 1 for 2 and Salters goes back to first base. Now Andrew Kalika, who hit the ball sharply his first time up. But a diving catch was made by Cavan Biggio. Biggio scored the game's first run on the Pat Cantwell RBI double. Kalika swings and fouls one back, 0-1. .333 average in the playoffs. Now the 0-1, up and away. 1 ball, 1 strike as a FedEx jet flies overhead. Friday night shipments. Here's the 1-1. Swinging a hard liner. This time it gets past Biggio and into right field. And Kalika has himself a base hit. Salters goes to second. So 2 singles here in the third. And it gives Tyler Krieger a 2-out RBI opportunity with the tying runs on base. Krieger from the left side. With Salters off of second and Kalika off of first, he takes a swing and a miss for strike 1. He's the 3-hitter, struck out swinging his first time up, as Romano was able to strand a leadoff double in the first inning. 2-0 Fisher Cats. Here's the 0-1. A swing and a liner down the left field line. A fair ball and into the corner it goes. Salters will score. They're going to wave Kalika home as well, and he's going to get home with the tying run. It is a 2-run double for Tyler Krieger. And with 2 outs, he comes up clutch. 2-2 the score, and Akron, for the first time in 3 games in the ELCS, has scored more than once in a ball game. And that wasn't a home run swing by Krieger by any means. Almost as he came through the zone at 80% speed, but placed it perfectly down the third base line. And New Hampshire's 2-0 lead is wiped out. Two outs still with Nelly Rodriguez coming up to bat. He takes a swing and a miss at a first pitch, strike 1. He grounded one toward the middle his first time up. And against a normal defensive alignment, it probably gets into center field to score Ernie Clement from second. But like they are now, the Fisher Cats have him shifted up the middle. Check swing on a breaking ball, but he went around. It's 0-2. Yeah, Biggio, right now, the second baseman, is playing like a shortstop would if he was holding a runner on second. And essentially he is, with Krieger leading off, following that big 2-run double to tie the ball game. Now the 0-2. Fouled away, first base side, and the count stays. No balls and 2 strikes. Ka'ai Tom would be next. Go ahead run at second base for Rodriguez. Pitch is down low, ball 1. Romano in search of his 5th Five Guys Burgers and Fries strikeout. A look back at second. Romano comes home with the 1-2. Breaking ball blocked well by Cantwell. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Beautiful sunset over the third base suite level and out toward the left field corner beyond the Hood milk bottle just a few moments ago. We've got a indigo sky, I would say, right now. Blue turning to black very soon. 2-2 pitch. Swinging a hard grounder foul off the tarp third base side. It kicks out toward the bullpen where there is still action in the Rubber Ducks bullpen. Looks like Rob Kaminsky is the one out there. Maybe. We'll let you know for sure. 2-2, swing and a miss. Strike three. Pulled the string on Rodriguez. And he strands Krieger at second base, but a 2-run double has tied the game. It's Rubber Ducks 2, Fisher Cats 2 through 2.5 on the WGIR Fisher Cats Radio Network. Kieran Lovegrove comes into pitch after just 2 innings from the starter, Zach Plesac, in which he allowed 2 runs, but only on 1 hit. The 2 walks certainly did some damage. So it will be a new man on the mound, and still a right-hander. Kieran Lovegrove facing a lefty, Forrest Wall. First pitch, a strike at the letters. Lovegrove with long flowing hair coming out of the back of his hat. Not quite as impressive as Bo Bichette, though. Who is? The 0-1 is outside to Forrest Wall. 1 ball, 1 strike. Lovegrove, a 24-year-old from Johannesburg, South Africa. 3rd round pick in 2012 by the Cleveland Indians. As Wall leads off the bottom of the 3rd, score is tied 2-2. 1-1 up high, 2 balls and 1 strike. The only real tense game we've seen in the postseason, I would say game 1 of both series, actually. We'll call it 2. It was 0-0 between Trenton and New Hampshire through 5 innings in the first game of the playoffs. And game 1 of this series in Akron. 2-1 to Wall. Big swing and a miss, 94-mile-an-hour fastball. On Tuesday, game 1 at Canal Park, it was a 1-1 ball game all the way until the top of the 10th when this guy, Forrest Wall, broke the tie with a 2-run single with the bases loaded. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Outside, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Lovegrove made 30 relief appearances in the regular season with the Rubber Ducks. 1 win, no losses, a 3.46 ERA. Opponents batting just .197 against him. 3-2 pitch. Wall sprays 1 foul out toward the third base Riverwalk. Count stays 3-2. So you wonder, a guy who's allowing a sub-200 average, why is the ERA anywhere near 3.4? Well, it's maybe the walks, 27 in 39 innings, but 38 strikeouts help make up for that. It'll be another payoff pitch to Forrest Wall. Here it comes. Another foul back towards us. It's his first at-bat of the ball game, and if the MVP voting was just for the championship series, you have to consider Forrest. He enters the day with 4 hits in 7 ELCS at-bats. That big 2-run hit with a couple of runs scored and a steal as well. Another payoff pitch from Lovegrove. Wall hits another foul ball back our way, off to the suite facing to our left and down into the stands below. For the most part in the Eastern League, teams who score first tend to win. That's true for just about every baseball league, but so far in this series, the team who has scored first has not been able to hold that early lead. 3-2 again, inside, ball 4. What a plate appearance there from Forrest Wall. He's able to draw the Fisher Cats' 3rd walk of the night, and that's now 3 walks to the last 6 hitters who have come to the plate. Now back at the top of the order with John Birdie. Birdie struck out looking his first time up on a pitch that was just on the edge of the outside corner. 3 hits in 20 at-bats so far in postseason play, which could end tonight. The Fisher Cats 1 win away from an Eastern League championship. Runner at first, nobody out, tie ball game here in the bottom of the third as Birdie takes outside. With Aaron Boss, the best in the business, in studio tonight. My name is Tyler Murray. So glad you're with us. As time is called with a mound visit, the catcher Daniel Salters will head to the hill. Fisher Cats baseball brought to you by Auto Fair. Head to autofair.com or check out one of their many New Hampshire locations. Head in and save. Fisher Cats baseball all season long, all postseason long as well, brought to you by Auto Fair. Very quick chat there as Salters is already back behind home plate. And Birdie digs back in from the right side with his dark blue socks pulled up to his knees, white pants, red jersey, black helmet. Lovegrove's 1-0. Swinging a hot shot right to shortstop. Skips off the glove of Clement, rolls into shallow center, and Wall gets into second base safely. Now he took a big turn around the bag and slipped a bit, but he's able to scamper back in. That's a base knock all the way. Birdie with a base hit. Runners at first and second, and here comes Bo. He grounded out to second base his first time up. Worked the count to 3-0 though to start the at-bat. So the go-ahead run at second base after a leadoff walk by Forrest Wall and a hard ground ball single by Jon Berti. First pitch to Bichette. Swinging a grounder right back to the mound. Glove there by Lovegrove. The throw to third is dropped by Sam Haggerty. It rolls into left field and Forrest Wall comes home. Oh, what a back-breaking miscue. 3-2 New Hampshire. A gift of a run, but they'll take it. And they're back in front in game 3. Birdie got to third on the play. Wall comes in to score. Runners on the corners. It should be a dropped catch error. E5 on Sam Haggerty as Rigo Beltran, the pitching coach, is going to head out to the mound again to talk with Lovegrove. Lovegrove did everything right there. It was a pretty sharply hit ball, so impressive. I thought that he was able to put the glove on it. Quick throw to third base. They would have had Wall by half a base path and plenty of time perhaps to get a second man out. But for whatever reason, Haggerty could not make the catch. And a chance for the Fisher Cats to really make Akron pay for it here. Middle of the order coming up, Harold Ramirez, Cavan Biggio, Pat Cantwell, who had the RBI double his first time up. 3-2 New Hampshire after 2 runs tied the game in the top half of this third inning. Fisher Cats answer right back in the home half. Runners on the corners, nobody out. Throw to first base, not in time as Bichette dives back in. And safe to say that the Fisher Cats would love to force the issue here. They've got the second leading base stealer in the Eastern League during the regular season, Bo Bichette, with 32 steals this year. Another pickoff, not in time. And this is a situation where New Hampshire quite simply loves to run. Take off the double play, force the hand of Akron to throw down to second and see what Jon Berti can do, creeping down that third base line. First pitch to Ramirez. Bo stays put. Harold swings and drives one out to center field. It's playable for Andrew Kalika, but looks plenty deep to score. Berti. The catch is made. Berti tags, and he comes in to score. 2 runs home here in the third inning. The Fisher Cats have re-extended the lead. It's 4-2. Ramirez, the sacrifice fly. Berti comes down to score as Bichette stays at first. What a response from New Hampshire. A clutch hit from Tyler Krieger in the top of the third to even the score, but a walk, a single, a costly error, and a sacrifice fly have made it a 2-run lead again for the Fisher Cats. Now Cavan Biggio. Shift on the right side for him, and a pitch out, but nothing going on. And the Rubber Ducks very aware of New Hampshire's propensity to run. If you look at the divisional round stats, the Fisher Cats stole 8 bases in just 3 games. Trenton didn't steal any in that series. And in the 4-game set between Akron and Altoona, there was 1 combined stolen base, and they'll throw over a 4th time, or at least pay attention to Bichette a 4th time. 3 pickoffs and a pitch out, but he's back in there. Biggio walked and scored the game's first run in the bottom of the 2nd. Bo tries for second base. The pitch is swung on and grounded to first, and Rodriguez will glove it and step on the bag. Biggio out 3 unassisted. Bichette gets to second. I said he tried for second because I'm not sure if he was bluffing, put the brakes on, had second thoughts. He stumbled a bit on his 3rd or 4th step towards second base. And if that ball's not put in play, maybe he's in a little bit of trouble there. But he gets into scoring position as Pat Cantwell has a chance for another RBI. Four runs on 2 hits for the Fisher Cats. First pitch, Cantwell swings and misses, a breaking ball away from the right-handed reliever Kieran Lovegrove. Remember, New Hampshire had just 3 hits in the first 9 innings in game 1, but still won it in extras. 0-1 pitch, swinging a ground ball out towards shortstop. Glove there by Clement. His throw to first is true, and that will retire the side in the 3rd. But New Hampshire scores twice. A walk to Wall, a single by Birdie, an error at third base, and a sac fly by Ramirez makes it 4-2 New Hampshire. As we go to the 4th, Fisher Cats and Rubber Ducks for the championship on the WGIR Fisher Cats Radio Network. Ka'ai Tom leads off the 4th, swings at the first pitch from Romano and grounds one right to Gunnar Height. He'll step on first base. You know, Gunnar had to go a pretty good ways behind the bag down the line, in fact, so a nice play. And Tom retired on 1 pitch. Top of the 4th inning. Game 3 of the Eastern League Championship Series. It could be the final game of the season if the Fisher Cats win it. They have a 4-2 lead, with Jordan Romano still on the mound, and they've gotten into the Rubber Ducks bullpen already. Romano's pitch to John Carter misses inside, ball 1. Carter struck out swinging his first time up. 1 of 5 Ks already from Romano, who misses outside here. 2 balls and no strikes. Romano has already made 2 starts this year against the Rubber Ducks, both in June. As the 2-0 is swung on and flied out toward left field. Back to the corner, Palacios on the move. He makes the catch. They wound up all the way on the warning track dirt in front of the manual scoreboard, where Chris Schuker's doing a great job putting balls and strikes, runs, hits, errors on the board. But Carter is retired. And the 2 starts for Romano against the Rubber Ducks, both losses. He was 11-8 this year. So a quarter of his losses came against Akron, but that was before he made some great adjustments with pitching coach Vince Horstman to really kick it into high gear and win right-handed starting pitcher of the year, as Matthias takes a called strike. And speaking of pitching coach Vince Horstman, we want to send our thoughts to him and his family, his wife Tiffany, a wonderful woman we hear. I've not had the pleasure of meeting her yet, but apparently a health scare for her down in Florida. Vince is with her and family right now. We wish them the very best, and it sounds like Tiffany's doing a lot better. The 1-1 pitch is swung on and flied out toward the right center field gap. Going back is Ramirez. He's got room in front of the warning track. He makes the catch. Jordan Romano, a lightning quick inning in the 4th. 1-2-3 go the Ducks. And the Cats have a 4-2 lead after 3.5 on the WGIR Fisher Cats Radio Network. The WGIR Fisher Cats Radio Network brings you playoff action all the way through, well, maybe tonight or maybe the weekend. Depends if Akron can hang in. 4-2 Fisher Cats in the bottom of the 4th as Josh Palacios pulls back a bunt attempt and takes a pitch outside, ball 1. It is still Kieran Lovegrove on the mound. He came in to start the 3rd, and 2 runs came across, although 1 error was awfully costly as the 1-0 pitch is high. 2 balls and no strikes. Palacios hit a sacrifice fly his first time up, and that scored Kevin Biggio, or rather Pat Cantwell from 3rd. He had just driven in Kevin Biggio with a double to start the scoring. 2-0 to Palacios, who sprayed foul off the light stanchion, and it comes back onto the field of play. It hit over the forward banner, which is high above the third base suite level, and it winds up half a step into fair territory along the third baseline. And Matt Provost, St. Anselm legend, the bat boy, comes out to the field and picks it up. Now the 2-1. Palacios swings and hits one high in the air to shallow left field. Heading out from shortstop is Clement. He's called off by the left fielder, Ka'ai Tom, and just in fair territory. With his cleats near the chalk, he'll make the catch. Tenuous moments for the Rubber Ducks. Ernie Clement way out to left field trying to track that one down, but Ka'ai Tom, by far an easier play, and he makes the snag, one away. So Palacios 0 for 1 now. Here's Santiago Espinal. He walked his first time up. First pitch, 96-mile-an-hour fastball strike on the outside corner. Lovegrove, the 24-year-old right-hander from Mission Viejo, California. Fires home an 0-1, and it misses down in the dirt. 1 ball, 1 strike. Gunnar Height waiting on deck, and then if anybody can reach, it's Forrest Wall. Well, you know what? Matt Provost is actually the first base bat boy today, so he just picked up that foul ball toward the Fisher Cat side of the diamond. Good job, Matt. The 1-1 pitch. Up high, Espinal leans out of the way. 2 balls and 1 strike. With more action down the left field line than the Fisher Cats, or rather the Rubber Ducks bullpen. No need for anything in New Hampshire's pen. Jordan Romano is through 4 strong innings, just the 1 hit by Krieger leading to runs. It was a 2-run double in the 3rd. Espinal takes a letter-high strike, now 2 balls and 2 strikes. An inspired crowd tonight, hoping to see some history at Northeast Delta Dental Stadium. Fisher Cats have never clinched in this ballpark as the 2-2 is sliced foul into the first base seats. And meanwhile, a ball comes loose from that left field bullpen, winds up at the Fisher Cats logo behind home plate. New Hampshire 4, Akron 2. Fisher Cats have not lost yet in the 2018 playoffs. Outscoring the Rubber Ducks 9-2 so far in this series. 2-2 pitch, foul back. And it was 23 runs for New Hampshire with just 5 given up in that first round sweep of Trenton. The Thunder had made the playoffs in 7 of the previous 12 seasons. Remarkable. The Fisher Cats have just made the postseason 4 times in their history. 2-2 pitch is outside, ball 3. Now Akron has never been swept in 10 Eastern League Championship Series appearances. And New Hampshire has never lost when making it to the championship round. They've won their previous 2 opportunities to hoist the trophy. 3-2. Swinging a hard ground ball to third, skips off of Sam Haggerty, winds up at shortstop. Clement barehands it and throws too late into first base. They're going to score that one, an error on the third baseman, Espinal. Not Espinal, Haggerty, so no hit for Espinal. And it'll bring up Gunnar Height. That was an awfully hard hit ball. Situation where if there's a game tomorrow, the Fisher Cats might be concerned about trying to get that change to a hit. It's up to the scorer, of course. If there's no game tomorrow, I'm not sure New Hampshire will mind. Runner on first either way. Gunnar Height takes a breaking ball down and away. Fisher Cats have a 4-2 lead. They got 2 in the second and 2 in the third. The only run-scoring hit they have so far is the double by Pat Cantwell. Just 2 hits so far in Game 3. Height takes this pitch outside, so it's 2 balls and no strikes. There have been some long waits for Jordan Romano. He's done well, though. A 1-2-3 inning in the second and in the fourth, so he's coming off now 4 consecutive Rubber Ducks retired. 2-0. Hits the upper outside corner of the zone, and the count goes to 2-1. If the Fisher Cats hang on, there will be an award presentation after the game. Playoff MVP. Runner goes, 2-1 pitch, swing and a miss. Double clutch from the catcher Salters, and the throw comes in a hair late. So Espinal gets the stolen base. And with 1 away in the fourth inning, a man in scoring position for Gunner Height. I just got 2 text messages within the last minute. One from a hard-working employee who would love to see the Fisher Cats celebrate tonight. Because who doesn't love a full weekend off? But more importantly, you want to celebrate as soon as you can. But another text from someone who wants to come to a game tomorrow. 2-2 pitch, swing and a miss, ball in the dirt. Gunner Height strikes out, but Daniel Salters has to pick it up and throw to first. He will. Good hustle from Height, but he is retired. Strikeout with a 2-3 putout. And the other person who texted me, one of the public address voices of this wonderful ballpark, hoping he gets a chance to call out some names and maybe see a title himself tomorrow. But I'll tell you what, everybody in this building, thousands of people, they want to see a win tonight. The man trying his hardest to deny the Fisher Cats a celebration tonight, Tony Mansolino, the manager of the Akron Rubber Ducks. He is out to the hill, and he's going to go to the bullpen with Kieran Lovegrove heading back to the dugout. A pitching change here with Espinal at second, 2 away, and the Fisher Cats 4-2 advantage over the Akron Rubber Ducks, holding up so far. We will take a commercial break and tell you about the new pitcher who's on to face the left-hander Forrest Wall when we come back. It's playoff baseball and a chance to clinch the title tonight for New Hampshire on the WGIR Fisher Cats Radio Network. Every call to the bullpen this season brought to you by She and Finney, the business law firm. When the Fisher Cats need legal counsel, we call She and Finney. It looks like Tony Mansolino, the manager of the Rubber Ducks, has called upon the right-hander Jordan Milbrath on to pitch with 2 down in the fourth against the left-hander Forrest Wall. 2 outs and a man on second as his first pitch misses down low. 1 ball and no strikes. Milbrath, 27 years old, from Sioux Falls, South Dakota, 35th round pick back in 2013. A look back at second, now the 1-0. Wall takes low, 2 balls and no strikes. Milbrath pitched in game 1 and wasn't his best outing. As he comes set, brings home a 2-0. Wall takes inside, 3 balls and no strikes. He picked up the loss, and it was Forrest Wall who did the damage. And Milbrath's first inning was great, but after a clean 9th, he came on in the 10th, walked the leadoff man, and, well, that's Cardinal sin number 1. 3-0 pitch inside, a 4-pitch walk out of the bullpen, and Wall stays patient to get 2 men on base and bring up the top of the order with John Birdie. How about this? We've got Rick Eisenbarger and Sherry Eisenbarger tuned in. They have moved to Indiana. The scoreboard operator and a switcher, video replay controller, technical director, I guess is the best title. They had a great opportunity to move to Indiana, but it happened right before the championship series, so you know they are crossing their fingers for a Fisher Cats win. Thanks for tuning in. John Birdie, 2 on, 2 out, takes a pitch over his head, ducks out of the way. It bangs off the screen behind home plate, and both runners will easily advance into scoring position. Wow. Espinal to third, Wall to second, and a base knock here with 2 away would really make things tough on Akron. And John Birdie had himself quite a clutch delivery in the 3rd inning in game 2. A 2-run single made it 2-1 Fisher Cats. And back in the opening round in game 1, had a 2-run single in the 8th inning to put that game out of reach. The 1-0 pitch. Swings and grounds one toward the middle. That one gets through to center field. A base hit for Birdie. 2 runs will score, and the Fisher Cats have doubled their lead. New Hampshire 6, Akron 2. The Fisher Cats in front here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Second hit in as many at-bats for Jon Berti, and another 2-out RBI. Now it's Bo Bichette, who reached on the pivotal missed catch error at third base by Sam Haggerty. His last time up, it led to a couple of runs. There goes Berti for second base. The pitch is down in the dirt, and Salters can't get the ball out of his glove. Jon Berti steals a base. And with 2 away, he gets into scoring position. Rude greeting out of the bullpen for Milbrath. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Bichette swings and lines one to right field. This is down for a base hit. They'll put the stop sign up at third base on Jon Berti. The throw comes in up the first base line. It was cut off. Would have been a close play. Another base hit. Bo Bichette puts runners on the corners. And now it's Harold Ramirez with a chance. The Fisher Cats went down in order in the first inning against Zach Plesac, the starter, who was removed after the second inning. And the Fisher Cats have not stopped scoring since. They got 2 off of Plesac in the second, 2 in the third. That was against the first reliever out of the bullpen, Kieran Lovegrove, and 2 more here in the fourth. So on the corners for Ramirez. Runner goes for second. It's a breaking ball strike, and no throw will be made. 2 men in scoring position as Bichette steals a base. The Fisher Cats not showing any mercy to Daniel Salters. They are running just about every chance they get. So great speed out there in scoring position for Ramirez. Berti and Bichette as the 1-0 is down and away. Ball 2. 6 runs on 4 hits for the Fisher Cats. And they have 3 stolen bases in this inning. The 2-0 to Harold. Breaking ball stays inside, ball 3. Now first base is open, but if you have any intention of loading the bases in front of Cavan Biggio, something's not right. Bottom of the 4th. Fisher Cats have a 4-run lead. 3-0 to Ramirez, taking all the way. It's inside, ball 4. It skips off the glove of the catcher, Salters, and no runner is able to advance. At least I thought that was ball 4. Might have had a strike mixed in there because Ramirez is hanging around. Let's call it 3-1. He had a sacrifice fly last time up. That made it a 4-2 ball game. Cartagena Columbia native awaits the next pitch. He swings and fouls one back, so 95 on the gun that time, almost turned on it. With Cavan Biggio waiting on deck. Meanwhile, a long wait for Jordan Romano, but he'll take it. He's retired 4 in a row. 5 strikeouts for him. 3-2 pitch. Ramirez swings and misses. And that's strike 3. 2 runners stranded in scoring position, but for the 3rd consecutive inning, the Fisher Cats get 2 on the board, and they'll take a 6-2 lead into the 5th inning against the Akron Rubber Ducks in Game 3 of the Eastern League Championship Series on the WGIR Fisher Cats Radio Network. Daniel Salters singled and scored his first time up. Romano's 1-0. Foul ball off to the third base side, out of play. It was the 2-run double by Tyler Krieger that scored both Salters and Kalika, who were on base after singles. At the time, it was 2-2 in the top of the 3rd, but the Fisher Cats have scored 4 unanswered to open up a 6-2 lead for Romano. A 1-1 foul back at the screen behind home plate. So 2 strikes. Infield, outfield straightaway for Salters, the catcher. As the 1-2 comes home, he lines one foul all the way down that left field line out toward the concourse by the speed pitch section. Test your arm. So far we've seen Romano get it up to 95. 1-2 pitch, swing and a soft fly ball out to center field. Long way to go for Forrest Wall. He dives for it and can't get it. It bounces past him into center field. It's picked up by Josh Palacios, racing all the way over from left, and a good job to get it in quickly because Salters has to stop at second base. When you dive for a ball like that and it gets past you, who knows how long the base runner can go. But Salters gets 2, and he'll lead off the 5th inning that way. I guess when you have a 6-2 lead, you can afford to take those gambles, but either way, a good start to the 5th inning for the Rubber Ducks. Now Sam Haggerty, the 9-hitter who struck out looking his first time up, will take a pitch up and away. 6 runs, 4 hits, no errors for the Fisher Cats. 2 runs, 5 hits, and 2 errors so far for the Rubber Ducks. Now the 1-0 on the outside corner at 87. 1 ball, 1 strike. Danny Young is warming up in the Fisher Cats bullpen right now. The sidearm lefty was tremendous in Akron earlier this week. 1-1 pitch is swung on and fouled away. 2 strikes. Top of the 5th inning as Akron is hoping to get 2 men on base for the top of the order. They already had the double from the 8-hitter Salters, as they're trying desperately to stay in this game. Hampshire's offense has been lights out. 1-2 breaking ball just drops down low. So 2 balls and 2 strikes now. Akron's had their hits. As the 2-2 pitch is swung on and softly bounced to the right side, it'll go through to second base for Biggio, but Romano can't get to the bag in time. Good hustle down the line by Sam Haggerty, and that ball was hit so softly that once it got past Gunnar Height, it was going to be a tough play the whole way. The runner gets to third, Salters is there, and Haggerty advancing to first. So runners on the corners, nobody out, and indeed they get 2 runners on base for the top of the order with Ernie Clement. Really no noticeable error made on that play, so it should be ruled a single. We said the sidearm left-hander Danny Young is warming up. Ernie Clement, a right-hander, is going to go against Romano, the righty, but a lefty Andrew Kalika waiting on deck. You do have Ka'ai Tom and Daniel Salters, both lefties in this lineup. Aside from that, all switch hitters or right-handers. Pitch to Clement is taken for a strike at the letters. He's one of the Indians' top prospects. Ranked number 24 by Baseball America in the Cleveland system. As the 0-1 finds the zone at 90 miles an hour. So 0-2 for Romano. A 2-run single by John Birdie, the most recent reason the Fisher Cats have a 6-2 lead. It came in the bottom of the 4th. 0-2 pitch just off the outside corner at 91. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Romano comes set, glances over his front shoulder at first base and brings home a 1-2. It's swung on and grounded foul toward the Tarp third base side. Ricochets off toward the third base coach and manager Tony Mansolino. He told the Akron Beacon Journal that he felt a little more confident against Jordan Romano than he did against TJ Zoic and John Harris, the starters from Game 1 and Game 2. 1-2 pitch is down and away. Good block on the backhand by Cantwell. That one could have easily skipped away, but he keeps it in his mitt. And no advance for the runners on the corners. And that quote struck me as a little bit odd because Mansolino and the rest of the Eastern League managers collectively voted Jordan Romano the best right-handed starting pitcher in the Eastern League. Maybe Romano didn't get Mansolino's vote. 2-2 pitch is fouled back. Out in front on a breaking ball, but got just enough of it to hang in there. Romano, one of 6 full season All-Stars for the Fisher Cats. There were only 14 spots available in the full season All-Star team. 2-2 pitch off the outside corner, 3 balls and 2 strikes. And you can still argue that several Fisher Cats got snubbed from the All-Star team, but it was Romano, Cavan Biggio, Harold Ramirez, Vladimir Guerrero Jr., Bo Bichette. Runner goes for second, 3-2 pitch swung on and popped up. Middle of the infield, Bo Bichette, the shortstop, with his toes on the grass, makes the catch. A very important first out. Haggerty was off with the pitch, so he stays at first. Salters, of course, stays at third. And now the 2-hitter, Andrew Kalika. John Schneider standing on the middle of the dugout staircase, and now he's going to make his move. Out to the field he goes. He points to right, and he wants Danny Young. So Jordan Romano won't get the win tonight, but he pitched more than well enough to get the Fisher Cats in position to clinch a championship tonight, and the fans let him know it. Danny Young inherits runners on the corners when we come back. The Fisher Cats lead the Rubber Ducks 6-2 in the top of the 5th on the WGIR Fisher Cats Radio Network. This call to the bullpen brought to you by She & Finney, the business law firm. We told you it's Danny Young on the hill. He'll go lefty versus lefty against Andrew Kalika. Runners on the corners, 1 down, as Young protecting a 6-2 lead. First pitch to Kalika is a strike right on the inside corner. Danny Young pitched in game 1 of this series, an inning and a third, scoreless. 2 hits, no walks, 1 strikeout. The 0-1 is down and away. 1 ball, 1 strike. And you can tell just how much John Schneider enjoys working with this bullpen in a big league fashion. He used 4 relievers in game 1 to perfection, as the 1-1 is swung on and flied out to center field. It should score a run, but it'll get the second out as Forrest Wall drifts back and puts the glove on it. Trying to tag and go to second is Haggerty, but he thinks better of it as the throw comes into second base. Salter scores on the sac fly. It's now a 6-3 ball game. Fisher Cats still have a 3-run lead as Kalika gets the RBI, and it will bring up Tyler Krieger. Remember, he had that game-tying 2-run double in the 3rd. Fisher Cats responded with 2 in the bottom half and then 2 more in the 4th. He's got Haggerty on first with 2 away. And Danny Young tosses over. We can't close the book quite yet on Romano, still responsible for Haggerty at first base. He threw 4 1/3 innings, and he left with the lead. First pitch home to Krieger is on the outside corner, strike 1. There is a lefty warming up in the Rubber Ducks bullpen. Oh, 1 pitch, swinging a hard grounder off the foot of Danny Young, caught in midair by Biggio, and he throws to first to get the out. How do you like that? Score at 1-4-3. A kick pass off a grounder from Danny Young. He always seems to find a way. Inheriting 2 base runners, only 1 scores, and the Fisher Cats have a 6-3 lead after 4.5 in Game 3 of the ELCS on the WGIR Fisher Cats Radio Network. Bottom of the 5th inning, it is Cavan Biggio to lead off for the Fisher Cats, who have a 6-3 lead halfway through Game 3 of the Eastern League Championship Series, and another new pitcher on the hill for Akron is the left-hander David Spear. First pitch is a strike on the outside corner. Biggio walked and scored the game's first run in the 2nd inning. He came in on a Pat Cantwell double down the left field line. Lefty versus lefty. Spears 0-1 pitch is swung on and driven out to right field. Well struck. John Carter back at the wall. Turns and looks. Say goodbye. Cavan Biggio. A solo homer to lead off the 5th. And the Fisher Cats have a 7-3 lead. 27 long balls for Biggio between the regular season and the playoffs. Nobody in Fisher Cats history has hit more in a single season. A no-doubter, the first man David Spear faces takes him deep. Now Pat Cantwell, a tough act to follow. Takes the first pitch, strike on the outside corner. If you can believe it, that's Cavan Biggio's last home run since August 16th, nearly a month between homers. I'd say it picked a pretty good time to get it after Akron got one back in the top of the fifth. Fisher Cats responding again. Now Cantwell swings and drills one, but right to the left fielder Ka'ai Tom, who makes the catch at chest height. And Cantwell now 1 for 3 with that RBI double. Now Josh Palacios comes to bat. New Hampshire 7, Akron 3. Palacios, the lefty, takes a swing and grounds one toward the shortstop pole. Backhanded there by Clement. The off-balance throw sails high and bounces into the Fisher Cats dugout. That is a base hit, an infield single for Palacios, and then the error gets him to second base. Now Clement, the shortstop, was shaded up toward the middle, and when that one went to the left side, he knew it was going to be a really tough play. Good job to get there, but maybe should have held on to it. So with one down and a runner at second base, Espinal stands in from the right side. First pitch, down in the dirt. Runner at second, Josh Palacios after the single and error. David Spear on the mound brings home a 1-0 and finds the zone. Palacios has the count go even 1-1. He walked in the second, reached on an error in the fourth inning, stole a base, went to third on a wild pitch, and eventually came in to score on the single by Birdie. Spear looks at second. Palacios can move, and he'll turn off the rubber and look Josh back to the bag. The Fisher Cats can't stop scoring. 2 in the second, 2 in the third, 2 in the fourth, and 1 here in the fifth on the solo home run by Cavan Biggio. The 1-1. Check swing on a pitch down low, and Espinal gets ahead. 2 balls and 1 strike. Catcher sets up on the outside half. The 2-1 pitch, swing and a miss. Bottom dropped out of that one, and it's 2-2. Cavan Biggio's first home run in nearly a month has extended the Fisher Cats lead to 7-3 in the bottom of the fifth. 2-2. Late swing, and he fouled it back near gunner height in the on-deck area. Count stays 2 balls and 2 strikes on Espinal. Acquired from the Red Sox organization in the trade for Steve Pearce. He had a 3-homer game about a month ago at Fenway Park. Espinal very promising though. 2-2 pitch inside, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Seven runs on 6 hits for the Fisher Cats. The Rubber Ducks have 6 hits as well, but the only hit of any consequence really was that Krieger 2-run double in the third that tied the score. Since then, the only run they've got is an Andrew Kalika sacrifice fly in the fifth. Payoff pitch. Swung on and lined into left field and down for a base hit. Schneider puts the stop sign up at third, so Palacios hangs in there. And Santiago Espinal on for the 3rd time in 3 plate appearances tonight. Puts runners on the corners with 1 away. Tony Mansolino, like he did on Wednesday in Akron, getting his steps in from the third base dugout. He'll head out to the mound, call for another reliever. And with this game on the verge of slipping away, Akron needs some outs here. Fisher Cats 7, Rubber Ducks 3. With runners on the corners and one down in the bottom of the fifth, we'll take a commercial break and come back with Gunnar Height and then Forrest Wall to follow, and a pitching change right here on the WGIR Fisher Cats Radio Network. On the corners, it will be Gunnar Height, who's 0 for 2 with a couple of Ks, hoping to really break this game open. It is 7-3 Fisher Cats, most recently because of a leadoff home run from Cavan Biggio here in the bottom of the fifth. If you want to get a look at how quickly he left the ballpark, you can check out our Twitter feed at Fisher Cats. Runners on the corners for Gunnar Height. First pitch from Pasquale is bunted at, and it hits off of Gunnar. It looked like he's going to run down the first base line. The throw comes in too late. Now Mike Savakinis, the first base umpire, is now waving his hands over his head and pointing back to home plate. Did he see what I saw? I thought he bunted that in front of home plate. It bounced back off his person, and he ran down the first base line just in case, but it looked like a foul ball to me. Gunnar walking very slowly back down the first base line, and yes, now they will bring Espinal back to first. Gunnar goes to the plate, taking his time, making it awfully tough for Nick Pasquale to get into a rhythm here. In the regular season, Pasquale went 3-3 with a 3.21 ERA in 22 relief appearances. Opponents at just 197 against him. So Gunnar back to the right-handed batter's box. On the corners with one down. And here comes the 0-1. Showed bunt again, but pulled back as it dropped down low. 1 ball, 1 strike. So Gunnar batting now. Forrest Wall waiting on deck. And then the top of the order with John Birdie. Infield back, hoping to turn 2 and keep any more runs on the board. Runner goes for second. Pitch is taken for a strike. Espinal dives in, but not in time. He's tagged out. And that's the second out of the inning. Nice job to come over the bag by the second baseman, Mark Mathias. I told you earlier, New Hampshire loves to run with men on the corners. Espinal caught stealing, but still 3 steals in the game for the Fisher Cats so far. And a change for Height with 2 outs now, and Palacios still at third. Dusty Isaacs warming in the bullpen as Height takes outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. 7-3, New Hampshire in front. They've either led or been tied the entire night. It was 2-2 in the top of the third. And since then, they have scored 5 of the game's last 6 runs. 2-2, swung on and fouled away. Stayed back on a breaking ball, but sent it foul. What a crowd we have tonight. One of the players asked me, what are we doing, fireworks tonight or something? I said, no, they're here for you. They want to see some history in what I would say is the best Fisher Cats team of all time. Can they finish something off with a championship tonight? As Pasquale's 2-2 pitch is fouled off again, back behind home plate this time. And snagged on the ricochet. Off the sweet level, it comes down to the third row. And a middle-aged gentleman makes a nice catch and gets a kiss on the cheek from his wife. Wow. What a great 20 seconds for you, my friend. Enjoy him. Puts the ball in his pocket, or no, he's hanging on to it, maybe looking for a kid. Runner at third, Palacios, 2 outs. And a 2-2 pitch coming to Gunnar Height. Swing and a miss, fastball up and in, and the inning is over. Height throws his helmet. As we go to the 6th inning, the Fisher Cats have a 7-3 lead. Cavan Biggio's home run extends the advantage to 4 on Akron. As we go to the 6th on the WGIR Fisher Cats Radio Network. Play on in the 6th inning. New Hampshire 7, Akron 3. Fisher Cats 4 innings away from a championship. Stay tuned. Nelly Rodriguez leads off for the Rubber Ducks and takes a strike on the inside corner. Three infielders on the left side of second base for the big right-hander Rodriguez, who takes down low. 1 ball, 1 strike. Rodriguez a ground out and a strikeout so far. Now the 1-1 is right there on the outside half. Strike 2. Dusty Isaacs, the right-hander, is warming up in the Fisher Cats bullpen as they try to piece together what could be the final 12 outs of the season. The 1-2 from Danny Young, swing and a miss, late hack on a backdoor breaking ball. Rodriguez down on strikes, and Young has been lights out of the bullpen. The sac fly, a 1-4-3 ground out, which he kicked over to Kevin Biggio as if he planned it. And then the strikeout of Nelly Rodriguez, 3 up, 3 down out of the bullpen for Danny Young. Tom takes this pitch inside. They'll go lefty versus lefty against Young with 2 righties to follow. Tom flied out to center and grounded out to first base his first 2 times up. 7-3 Fisher Cats, top of the 6th. Base is empty as the 1-0 pitch is on the inside corner, a called strike. Infield, outfield pretty much straight away for Tom as the 1-1 is waved at and missed down low, but he couldn't resist. It's 1-2. For the first time in a long time, the Rubber Ducks bullpen is quiet. A 1-2 pitch from Young, swung on and missed, strike 3. He gets Rodriguez to start the 6th, and now Tom back to back. John Carter, the last man standing in the 6th inning for Akron. And this team didn't want to drive 12 hours from Ohio just to lose the first game and end their season. It's an awfully long bus ride back. Of course, at the end of the year, guys have the opportunity to travel directly home and not check back in Ohio, but some have to. John Carter takes a fastball low, ball 1. The only team in the last 15 years to overcome a 2-0 series deficit in these playoffs was Akron. There's a strike at the letters and the count 1-1. It was in 2012 in the divisional round, and they went on to win the championship. Now the 1-1. Carter swings and grounds one toward shortstop, backhanded by Bo Bichette. The long throw is perfect. How about that? Bo Bichette completes a 1-2-3 inning for Danny Young. 2 Ks and a ground out. And through 5.5, it's Fisher Cats 7, Rubber Ducks 3 in Game 3 of the Eastern League Championship Series on the WGIR Fisher Cats Radio Network. It'll be Forrest Wall to lead off the bottom of the 6th inning, where the Fisher Cats have a 7-3 lead and a 2-0 series lead in the Eastern League Championship Series. One more win, and they'll have their 3rd title in franchise history. Forrest Wall takes a backdoor breaking ball strike from David Pasquale. The first reliever that Rubber Ducks manager Tony Mansolino has seemingly had consistent faith in. Almost constant action in the bullpen for the Rubber Ducks so far, but it's the right-hander who comes in from a sidearm slot that he feels pretty good about. 0-1. Wall takes a strike on the inside corner. We've got some championship vibes in our audience tonight. Marshall Kellner, voice of the Fort Myers Miracle, just a couple of days off of announcing the Twins Advanced Day Affiliates Championship over my former employer, the Daytona Tortugas at Jackie Robinson Ballpark. He's tuned in. That can only mean good things, right? 0-2 to Forrest Wall, swings and bounces one right back to the mound, backhanded by Pasquale. He'll run halfway to first, but realizes Forrest is hustling down the line, so we'll toss it the rest of the way. Gotta love that hustle from Wall. He's 0 for 1 now with 2 walks and 2 runs scored after the 1-3 ground out. Top of the order, John Birdie, bases empty, 1 down. Birdie's 2 out, 2-run single in the 4th inning made it a 6-2 Fisher Cats lead. Cavan Biggio's solo home run, the only scoring after that, at least for now, as he waits back on a breaking ball and grounds one past the second baseman into right field. Mathias laid out for it in shallow right, but it sneaks past his glove, and Jon Berti has his third hit of the night. A one-out base runner for the Fisher Cats, and here comes Bo Bichette. A single and a stolen base, all in the fourth inning. He reached on an error in the third. Entered the day 8 out of 22 in the postseason. A couple of RBIs. Infield back at double play depth. He'll take a pitch just off the inside corner. And something we don't appreciate enough about Bo Bichette. He is one of the top 10 prospects in the entire game. And we got to see him all season long here in New Hampshire. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Breaking ball swung on and flied out toward right center field. Hanging up for Jod Carter, it looks like. He'll range over from right and make the catch in the gap. And Bichette is retired. So he's now 1 for 4. And with 2 away, it'll be Harold Ramirez. Fisher Cats hoping to add on to their 4-run lead. And they've scored in each of the last 4 innings. 2 in the second, third, and fourth. And then 1 in the fifth on the Biggio home run. Berti at first. Ramirez swings and drills one out toward right center field. Back to the gap it goes. Carter's not getting this one. It one hops the wall off the auto fair sign. Berti speeding around third. They'll wave him home. Here comes the relay throw. Not inside. Harold Ramirez, an RBI double, and the Fisher Cats have an 8-3 lead. It's his second RBI of the ball game, and the ever-important 5-run cushion now. Akron can no longer tie this game with 1 swing. And here comes Cavan Biggio. An opposite field power from Harold Ramirez. He's a guy you just cannot shift against. If anything, you got to shift to the opposite field. Now Biggio, who homered his last time up, standing in from the left side with Ramirez on second. And this breaking ball misses outside. Now there is some action in the Rubber Ducks bullpen. There's the sense of urgency out there. It has to be at its peak. Staring at a 5-run deficit with only 9 more outs to work with. Pasquale looks back at second, and they've got Ramirez caught off the bag. He'll go to third. The throw in. They got him. A 1-6-5 pickoff. But Ramirez, well, he did his job in the 7th. A double to score Berti and give New Hampshire an 8-3 lead. Rubber Ducks in trouble as we go to the 7th on the WGIR Fisher Cats Radio Network. As we go to the 7th inning, the Fisher Cats have an 8-3 lead, and they're sticking to their guns. Danny Young on the hill for his 3rd inning as Mark Mathias leads off. Bottom third of the order, he takes the first pitch down and in. The Harold Ramirez double produces a run for the Fisher Cats in the 6th as they continue to tack onto the lead. 1-1 pitch grounded toward the shortstop hole. Diving attempt by Bichette. It's under his glove and out to left field. Good effort there. Really no chance, I thought, when that one left the bat. And a leadoff single for Mark Mathias. So a runner on base, Daniel Salters now, who singled in the 3rd and scored. Doubled in the 5th and scored. Throw to first base is not in time, as it looks like Dusty Isaacs is still active in the bullpen, or is he? No, it's a lefty now. And Kirby Snead has been automatic in the postseason so far. Young's pitch to Salters is a little bit low as the Rubber Ducks catcher gets ahead, 1 ball, no strikes. The 1-0 Swing and a miss. Pitch around the inside part of the plate, and Salters a half-hearted swing. It's 1-1. Sam Haggerty, the 9-hitter, waiting on deck as the 1-1 pitch home is low. 2 balls and 1 strike. And that is Kirby Snead warming up for the Fisher Cats. Lefty versus lefty for Danny Young. He'll bring home the 2-1. Down and in, 3 balls and 1 strike as Salters has to skip out of the way. Three-one pitch, check swing, and he went around. Salters is called for strike 2. I guess it was a 3-1 pitch, beg your pardon. So the count is full, 3-2. A lefty warming up also for the Rubber Ducks. We've already seen David Spear today. They have Rob Kaminsky available as well as Young tosses over to first. Payoff pitch, swinging a tapper out in front of home plate up the first baseline. Off the mound comes Danny Young. He'll scoop it up and throw to first. Nice play. It works like a swinging bunt, but in an 8-3 ball game, it's not what Akron's looking for. Salters is now 2 for 3 as Matthias gets to second base. Sam Haggerty singled in the 5th. He is 1 for 2. John Schneider out to the hill. He's going to make a pitching change. So it will be, looks like Kirby Snead coming in. We'll confirm when we come back after a great job from Danny Young. Schneider goes deeper into the bullpen. The Fisher Cats lead the Rubber Ducks 8-3 in the 7th in Game 3 of the Eastern League Championship Series. Young gets a great hand as we'll be back soon on the WGIR Fisher Cats Radio Network. Kirby Snead has always delivered out of the bullpen here in the postseason for John Schneider, who's going to go back to the well one more time with an 8-3 lead. Runner at second, 1 down. The Rubber Ducks running out of chances here. It'll be Sam Haggerty, the 9-hitter, against the lefty Kirby Snead. First pitch swinging, it's swung on and fly down the right field line, foul territory. Gunnar Height all the way over. He almost got there. It lands in the bullpen and bounces into the stands. Foul ball. Gunnar Height did a 40-yard dash down the right field line and almost caught it over his shoulder with his back to home plate. Couldn't haul it in. So it's just strike 1. Kirby Snead has thrown 3 combined innings in the postseason. No runs, no hits, no walks, and 2 strikeouts. He got 4 outs on Wednesday with 8 pitches. This one is outside, 1 ball, 1 strike. And in his first game of the playoffs, Game 3 against Trenton, 3 pitches, 3 strikes, and helped New Hampshire get that 5-1 win to complete the sweep. Now the 1-1 pitch. Off the outside corner, 2-1. Just a phenomenal job out of the bullpen by Danny Young. He pitched in 3 different innings and only allowed an inherited run to score on a sac fly. 2-1 pitch is up and away, 3-1 the count. Eight runs on 7 Fisher Cats hits. They've scored in 5 of the 6 innings tonight. Only outlier was the first. 3-1 is swung on and grounded hard. A base hit to left center field just past the shortstop, Bo Bichette. They will send the runner home from second. Matthias gets in standing. So it's an RBI single for Sam Haggerty, and he makes it an 8-4 game. Fisher Cats still comfortably ahead, but the inherited runner does score. That's charged to Danny Young. Back at the top of the order we go with Ernie Clements, who is 1 for 3 with a double. 2 games in a row, we said he started Akron's offensive night with a 2-bagger. He scored on Wednesday in Game 2 to make it 1-0 early, but was stranded at second tonight thanks to great pitching from Jordan Romano. Ernie Clement takes a slider high. Andrew Kalika, the 2-hitter, waiting on deck as the 1-0 pitch comes home. It's inside, gets off the glove of Cantwell. The base runner, Haggerty, didn't see it at first, but he gets a late break to second, and despite a good throw from Cantwell in, he slides safely into second base. Should be a pass ball, and yes, indeed, our official scorer confirms. And now it's a chance for Ernie Clement. Another base knock here could make it a 3-run ball game. And give Akron credit. They scored 1 run against TJ Zoic and company on Tuesday in Game 1. And 1 run in Game 2 against John Harris and the bullpen. But 4 runs tonight. 2-0 pitch swing and a ground ball to shortstop. Bichette is there, holds the runner. Sidearm flips to first. And they get Clement 6-3. Haggerty stays at second base. And 2 away now in the inning. Andrew Kalika now with a man on second. He singled and scored in the third, a sac fly in the fifth. Akron keeps coming, but the good news for Fisher Cats fans is so does New Hampshire. 8 runs on 9 hits in 6 innings. Maybe their best offensive performance of the playoffs thus far. Snead takes a pitch down and in ball 1. Now, New Hampshire won 10-4 against Trenton here in Game 2 last week. Those runs were spread out. They come in bunches here. The 1-0 is outside. 2 balls and no strikes on Kalika. Fisher Cats bullpen is quiet for now. After Danny Young got Daniel Salters on a ground ball up the first baseline, it was Kirby Snead called in to get Sam Haggerty, but he singled into center field to get Mark Mathias home. Now he's at second base with 2 down. The 2-0 to Kalika, swings and grounds one foul off his foot. And ricochets over toward the third base dugout. And they count 2-1. If you're following along on game day, pitch by pitch, we are slowly but surely catching up. We appreciate your patience. Now the 2-1. Kalika sprays it foul back our way. Bangs off sweet 18 and then somehow trickles all the way down into the stands. And apparently great catch was made. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, and a man on second. Snead pitches to Kalika, swinging a little tapper foul. Went right back to the mitt of the catcher, Pat Cantwell, so an easy call for John Mang. Well, Jordan Romano can't win it, but should be another feather in his cap. If the Fisher Cats can hang on here, leading 8-4 in the 7th inning. If they are able to win it, it'll be the 3rd time in his last 3 playoff starts that he started a game that his team eventually won in a clinching opportunity. 2-2 pitch to Kalika is just off the outside corner at 91. And that brings the count to 3-2. But Romano, 4 1/3 innings. 3 runs all earned on 6 hits, no walks, and 5 strikeouts. Danny Young and Kirby Snead have relieved him admirably. The 3-2 pitch is down low, ball 4, so it's Kirby Snead's first walk of the postseason. And that puts the tying run on deck for Akron. 2 on, 2 out. Tyler Krieger at the plate, and remember what he did back in the 3rd. A 2-run double that tied the game at 2. But from there, the Fisher Cats got 2 in the bottom half with the help of an error, a walk, and a single. And then in the bottom of the 4th inning, a 2-out, 2-run single from John Birdie made it a 6-2 advantage. Akron scored in the 5th with a sac fly, but in the home half, Kevin Biggio wasted little time getting that run back. A leadoff home run, his 27th of the year. The Fisher Cats were able to re-extend the lead at that point to 7-3. Harold Ramirez with the RBI double last inning made it 8-3, but here in the top of the 7th, Akron gets 1 back. First pitch to Tyler Krieger, swung on and skied out to center, playable for Forrest Wall. He makes the catch, and 2 runners are stranded. So Snead gets the job done, and the Fisher Cats at the stretch have an 8-4 lead in Game 3 against the Akron Rubber Ducks on the WGIR Fisher Cats Radio Network. To an Eastern League championship, a 4-run lead with 6 outs to get and a chance for some more insurance as Biggio swings and grounds one hard but right to first. Sliding stop by Nelly Rodriguez, gets up, tosses to the covering pitcher as Orland has to field his position quickly, and he'll get there just in time. But Biggio with a walk, a homer, 2 runs scored, and that 3 unassisted ground out is now 1 for 3 tonight. Now Pat Cantwell, the batter. Good night for Cantwell. Aside from a phenomenal catching as usual, he doubled and scored in the second. The first 2 runs of the game were because of Pat Cantwell. He is 1 for 3 in the ball game after going 3 for 4 in the divisional round clincher. Orland's first pitch is down low. 1 ball and no strikes. Dusty Isaacs is back to business, warming up in the right field bullpen. From the stretch, it's a 1-0. Cantwell hits one foul. Sharp line drive down the first base side out toward the kid area, but that's well covered. And it looks like Jim Flavin's out there, Fisher Cats general manager, so it'll be handled. 8 runs on 9 hits for the Fisher Cats. They've given up 4 runs on 8 hits, which constitutes Akron's biggest offensive output of the series by far. They entered the day combined in the first 2 games, 12 singles and 1 double, leading to 2 runs in 19 combined innings. Here's the 1-1 to Cantwell, up high, 2 balls and 1 strike. And this is the Fisher Cats' biggest offensive output of the Eastern League Championship Series as well. Base is empty, 1 down for Cantwell. Bottom of the 7th inning. Here's the 2-1. Up high, 3 balls and 1 strike. R.C. Orland, 27-year-old from Glen Allen, Virginia, played his college ball at UNC. Only made 10 appearances in the regular season out of the Rubber Ducks bullpen. Did not allow an earned run, though, in 15 2/3 innings. Here's his 3-1. Cantwell takes a strike right down Broadway at 94 miles an hour, and the count goes full 3-2. This game started at 6:35, right on the dot tonight, even after the extended introductions. Full team rosters, coaching staffs, dietitians, you name it. 3-2 pitch to Cantwell, reached out for and sliced foul into the first base side seats. And it hits next to a rare empty seat beside a woman who was turned the other way. She has promptly repositioned her viewing angle and has her eyes on the diamond now. And how could you turn away from this one? Bottom 7, 1 down. New Hampshire leads 8-4. They have been perfect in the postseason so far. 5 games, 5 wins. And they're 2 innings away from a title. 3-2 to Cantwell. Another foul ball. This one high over the suites behind home plate. Out toward the parking lot, which is well netted. Cantwell to be followed by Josh Palacios and then perhaps Santiago Espinal. From the stretch, Orland's 3-2. Breaking ball drops right in there, a called strike 3. Cantwell was so sure he had drawn the walk. A very respectful gentleman took several steps down the first base side, and he was shocked that he was rung up by John Mang. 50-50 call, getting a second look on MILB TV, and Cantwell did well to just get back to the dugout. You could tell he was heated, but Haven't seen him that animated since the Green Bay Packers comeback on Sunday Night Football. Big Packers fan. I mean, huge Packers fan. Josh Palacios takes a fastball inside, ball one. Sac fly his first time up, and an infield single with a throwing error getting him to second base in the 6th inning. He's 1 for 2 in this one. The 1-0. Breaking ball drops right in there, a called strike. Either Kirby Snead stays out to pitch the 8th inning or Dusty Isaacs comes in. It is Nelly Rodriguez, a right-hander, to lead off the inning, but then a lefty Ka'ai Tom after that. Isaacs has been a shutdown right-hand pitcher this year, especially in the postseason. The 1-1 to Palacios. Swing and a miss. 94-mile-an-hour fastball just behind it. And it's 1-2. Jordan Romano left after 4 1/3. The Fisher Cats ahead. Gave up 3 runs on 6 hits. Struck out 5, didn't walk anybody. The 1-2 to Palacios. Up and in, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Orland got that one up to 95 on the radar gun. Well, next inning, as we said, it'll be Rodriguez, Tom, and Carter. That is 4, 5, and 6 in the order. Well, the Fisher Cats are able to handle Akron. These final 6 outs. It's against the middle to bottom half of the order. Might not have to turn that lineup card over any more times in 2018. 2-2 breaking ball. Got him swinging. Palacios couldn't connect. And the inning is over. A 1-2-3 8th. The first 0 on the board for New Hampshire since the first. A 1-2-3 7th inning, I should say. We are on to the 8th. It is Akron desperate, trailing by 4. The Fisher Cats have an 8-4 advantage on the Rubber Ducks. 2 innings from a title. We'll find out if they can do it as we move along on the WGIR Fisher Cats Radio Network. Another call to the bullpen brought to you by She & Finney, the business law firm. It is Dusty Isaacs on the hill for the top of the 8th inning. The Fisher Cats have an 8-4 lead, and to try to get the first of the final 6 outs of the season to clinch the 3rd championship in franchise history. Dusty Isaacs called upon to face Nelly Rodriguez with the bullpen quiet right now. Three infielders shifted to the left of second base as Rodriguez takes the pitch outside. Just about every fan who came through the gates today is still here because, well, they want to see a celebration. Playing for just about 2.5 hours here. Now the 1-0 from Isaacs. Rodriguez takes off the outside corner, so 2 balls and no strikes. So far in the playoffs, we've seen Dusty throw 2 2/3 innings, no runs allowed, just 2 hits, a walk, and 3 strikeouts. 2-2 pitch swung on and popped foul out of play over toward the first base side. 2-1. Rodriguez, a ground out and 2 strikeouts today. He is 0 for 3. He knocked in the first run of the championship series, an RBI single in the first back on Tuesday. Now the 2-1. Just outside. Decent frame job by the catcher Cantwell, but couldn't get the call, so it's 3-1. As another lefty starts to warm up for the Rubber Ducks. It's either Matt Whitehouse or Rob Kaminsky. We've seen the other left-handers out of the bullpen today. Here's the 3-1 from Isaacs, swinging a grounder foul into the Rubber Ducks dugout, third base side. And the count 3-2. There has been buzz around town for this game ever since the Fisher Cats clinched the Eastern Division Championship with that sweep of Trenton. And no surprise to see so many fans in the building hoping to watch the Fisher Cats celebrate on the field. An MVP will be crowned for the playoffs. And I'll tell you right now, it's an awfully close race. It really is. That RBI double from Harold Ramirez might have flipped a few votes. 3-2 pitch. Rodriguez fouls one back, a 92-mile-an-hour fastball. The other consideration, certainly at the top of my mind, is how well TJ Zeuch has pitched in the playoffs. 2 6-inning outings, 1 win, 1 no decision, but you know every game so far in the playoffs the Fisher Cats have wound up winning. Giving up 1 total run. Rodriguez swings and grounds a breaking ball to the shortstop hole. Sliding stop, Bo Bichette gets to his feet, throws in time. That's championship defense from Bo Bichette at shortstop. And Rodriguez grounds out to begin the 8th inning. A semi-standing ovation from many fans here in the ballpark for that play from Bo. And it'll bring up Ka'ai Tom with the bases empty and 1 down. Catcher sets up on the outside corner for Isaac's first pitch. It's off the outside edge here at 93, so 1 ball and no strikes. Travis Bergen is walking around in the Fisher Cats bullpen. He'd be the guy to get the 9th inning, unless Isaacs is really rolling and Schneider wants to stick with a hot hand. The 1-0, Tom swings and lines 1 foul off the LED scoreboard underneath the party deck down the third base line. It reads 1 ball, 1 strike with 1 out. And an 8-4 lead for the Fisher Cats in the top of the 8th. Romano, Young, Sneed, and now Isaacs putting together another collective gem for the Fisher Cats. 1-1 offering. Backdoor breaking ball caught the outside corner, and Tom's behind 1-2. Travis Bergen is now standing on the bullpen mound. Fisher Cats closer ready and waiting if needed. Base is empty, 1 out. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Swing and a soft tapper down the first base line. Isaac's off the mound to get it. He'll scoop it up. Soft toss to first, and they get him there. Ka'ai Tom now 0 for 4 on the 1-3 ground out. 2 down in the 8th. The Fisher Cats have an 8-4 lead. You can feel this crowd. They can taste it. Jod Carter is 0 for 3. 2 gone, nobody on. He struck out, grounded out, and flied out in this game. Righty versus righty for Dusty Isaacs. 2 ground out for him so far out of the bullpen. He spins a breaking ball right over for a called strike. The Rubber Ducks have just 2 hits since the 5th inning. Now the 0-1 is low. 1 ball, 1 strike. Mark Mathias would be next, as Bergen takes some short throws in front of the mound in the bullpen now. Here's the 1-1. Low again. 2 balls and 1 strike. Isaacs comes set. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Carter flinches at a breaking ball. It hit the outside corner anyway, so 2-2. Fisher Cats will have Espinal, Height, and Waldo up when we go to the bottom of the 8th inning. Two-two pitch. Outside, 3-2. Eight runs on 9 Fisher Cats hits. They were finally set down in order in the 8th inning. It happened in the first, but between those 2 frames, they got 2 in the 2nd, 2 in the 3rd, 2 in the 4th, another in the 5th on the Biggio home run, and 1 more in the 6th. 3-2 pitch, swing and a miss. A 1-2-3 for Dusty Isaacs. He loves it. As he heads off the mound, the Fisher Cats have an 8-4 lead. They're 3 outs away from an Eastern League title on the WGIR Fisher Cats Radio Network. We're on to the bottom of the 8th inning, and it is Santiago Espinal on the mound. We'll be facing a new pitcher. It is the left-hander Rob Kaminsky, 24-year-old from Englewood Cliffs, New Jersey, originally drafted by the St. Louis Cardinals. Espinal on base all 3 times tonight. He takes the first pitch outside. Fisher Cats lead it 8-4, and they are 3 outs away from their first Eastern League championship since 2011. The 1-0. On the outside corner, a called strike. Espinal walked in the second, reached on an error and scored in the fourth, and singled in the sixth. Gunnar Height and Forrest Wall to follow, bottom third of the order. The 1-1. Breaking ball fouled off, strike two. Gunnar Height on deck. 3 strikeouts today. He would love to have an offensive impact in this one. He's been so big defensively, my goodness. 1-2 pitch swung on and flied foul into the first base stands. And as expected, Travis Bergen, the left-handed closer, is warming up in the Fisher Cats bullpen. Only fitting that he would be asked to get the final 3 outs of the season. But for now, an opportunity to add to this 8-4 lead for the Fisher Cats. 1-2 pitch. Swung on and lined right to the shortstop. A backhand snare by Ernie Clements. And Espinal retired for the first time tonight. 1 away for Gunnar Height. Huge impact in game 2 of this series. A couple of singles, one in the third, one in the eighth. As the first pitch home is a breaking ball up high. Well, for Akron, it started with Dan Plesac's nephew. Zach went 2 innings, allowed 2 runs, and Kieran Lovegrove came in, allowed 3 unearned runs in an inning and 2/3. The 1-0 pitch is a breaking ball on the outside corner. 1-1, the count to Height. Jordan Milbrath, 1 unearned run allowed in a third of an inning. One 1 pitch swung on and popped up shallow right. In comes Jod Carter, and he will make the catch. So Height 0 for 4, 2 away now in the bottom of the 8th inning. It'll be Forrest Wall, who walked twice and scored twice. He's 0 for 1. Lefty versus lefty. Pitch is swung on and lined out to left field, right at Ka'ai Tom. He'll back up and make the catch to bring us to the 9th. It's Fisher Cats 8, Rubber Ducks 4, 3 outs away from a title, and it's Travis Bergen's job to get him when we come back on the WGIR Fisher Cats Radio Network. You hear that sound? That's thousands of Fisher Cats fans who know what they might be about to witness. With an 8-4 lead in the 9th inning, and perhaps the best closer in the Eastern League on the mound, the Fisher Cats are 3 outs away from an Eastern League title. And it's the bottom third of the order for the Rubber Ducks. Matthias, Salters, and Haggerty. First pitch to Matthias is on the outside corner. Travis Bergen gave up 2 earned runs the entire regular season during his time here in New Hampshire, and they came on 2 solo home runs. Now the 0-1. Matthias watches one high, 1 ball, 1 strike. Next pitch swung on and lined hard into left field. This one's going to get down for a base hit. Cutting it off just in front of the scoreboard, Josh Palacios. Matthias hustling into second, and he'll get there standing with a leadoff double in the 9th. The tying run still waiting in the hole, but promising start for the Rubber Ducks. A leadoff double, trailing by 4 here in the 9th. Daniel Salters 2 for 3, a single and a double with 2 runs scored tonight. And he'll go lefty versus lefty against Bergen. First pitch is swung on and grounded toward second base. Diving stop by Cavan Biggio. From one knee, he throws to first, and they get Salters. Second pretty play we've seen from Cavan tonight. He dove to catch a liner back in the first inning. And here he lays out for a 4-3 putout. So 1 away, top 9, 8-4 Fisher Cats in what could be the clincher here in the Eastern League playoffs. Matthias got to third on the play, so here's Haggerty. Haggerty takes a strike. He struck out looking against Jordan Romano his first time up, but got singles against both bullpen lefties he faced already, one against Young in the 5th and one against Snead in the 7th. The 0-1 from Bergen, swing and a miss. The bat goes flying over the third base dugout. And if not for the netting that was added 2 seasons ago, that would be a rather dangerous souvenir in the front row. Base is empty, 1 away. The Fisher Cats with 8 runs on 9 hits are 4 strikes away from a title. We'll get as granular as you want. Akron 4 runs on 9 hits, but 3 errors have really cost them. The Fisher Cats have earned this one. 0-1. Fouled back. 2 strikes now on Sam Haggerty. Out of the 9 spot with a runner at third. And if he's able to get on base here, he can definitely sense some hope building for the Rubber Ducks, but this crowd wants to stomp it out. So does Travis Bergen. Here's the 0-2. Check swing on a breaking ball. He did not go around, and a good block on the dirt ball by Cantwell. Haggerty 2 for 3. Travis Bergen, as you might have guessed, has yet to allow a run in the postseason. 3 2/3 innings now, just 3 hits allowed. The 1-2 swung on and popped up first base side, foul territory. Is there room for Cantwell? Maybe Gunnar Height from first, and this one will land out of their reach and keep the count at 1-2. Technically, it was within their reach. They overran it a bit toward the first base dugout, and Gunnar tried to lunge back toward fair territory at the last second as the ball bounced in the field of play, but harmlessly fouled off the warning track. So the count stays 1-2. Reminiscent of the Game 3 in Trenton when the final out was recorded by Pat Cantwell's sliding catch in front of his own dugout at 1:30 in the morning. Here at the very reasonable hour of 9:23, it's a 1-2 pitch. Breaking ball swung on and grounded to shortstop. Bichette has it. A run will score, but he goes to first, and they get the second out. Matthias comes home. It is now 8-5 Fisher Cats. But the bases are wiped clean. Ernie Clements is the last man standing. First pitch, down low, ball 1. I've seen almost 200 games in this building. I don't think the noise level has come close to what we have right now. The 1-0 pitch fouled away. So 1-1 on Clement. He doubled to start the ball game, but was stranded there when the starter, Jordan Romano, got 3 outs in a row. Bergen comes set, base is empty, 2 down, the 1-1 pitch, swinging a slow roller, second base, Biggio is there, he throws to first, it's over, it's all over, the Fisher Cats are Eastern League champions! 6 games, 6 wins, a perfect playoff run, and the first title since 2011 is coming back home to New Hampshire. There's a mosh pit behind the mound. I saw it with my own two eyes, folks. I can barely believe it myself. After 6 consecutive sub-500 seasons and no playoff appearances, the Fisher Cats go all the way. And Lucky 7 lives on. 2004, 2011, 2018. It had to be, didn't it? John Schneider, the Eastern League Manager of the Year. Cavan Biggio, the MVP. And some of the most electric talent we have ever seen at Northeast Delta Dental Stadium. It all came together, didn't it? 8-5 the final score as the Fisher Cats are Eastern League champions for the 3rd time in franchise history. Wow. And there were thousands on hand to see it. What a night. And it's only just beginning for those Fisher Cats. Those 30 players with the team, and they've all earned a taste of a title. We'll step aside and come back with post-game coverage on the Eastern League champion WGIR Fisher Cats Radio Network.